For Genesis 29, we have Shalishi in the margin over there. For verse 28, the footnote, Bam Qatsat Supreme Ain Malt Lu. Yeah, it's supposed to be a T instead of a CH. They make it so tiny and blurred sometimes. Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in its place. You know, because that not only keeps people from falling in, but keeps the well from drying out. And Jacob said unto them, My brethren, I'll kind of stop saying the J, whence be ye? And they said, Of Haran are we. And he said unto them, Know ye Laban, the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And behold, Rachel, his daughter, cometh with the sheep. And he said, Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them. And they said, We cannot until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep. And while yet he spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice, and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's kinsman, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my kinsman, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah's eyes were tender, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel, and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place, and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening, that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said unto Laban, What is this thou hast done unto me? Did I not serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, It must not be done so in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we shall give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet another 7 years. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet another 7 years. And when Godaznan and Burb saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bare a son. And she called his name Reuben, for she said, Surely Godaznan and Burb hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, Because Godaznan and Burb hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again, and bare a son, and said, Now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again, and bare a son. And she said, Now will I praise Godaznan and Burb. Therefore she called his name Judah. And she left bearing. And remember, Yahwadi is what they later called the tribe, or Yahd, which went beyond the whole idea of the tribe. But New York, last I heard, you could pull a switch like this on somebody. That was perfectly legal. Somebody consented. Basically, it's rape. Yeah, because it is. You consent to sex with one person, and what, the lights go out or something, and someone else slips in. It's like, no. That's, the consent is not for that person. And how this would have happened is, well, think of how things were in that culture. You didn't see the women's faces outside of like the well and all that. So if they weren't eating or something, you just didn't see their faces. So it's something that could be pulled off. Especially sisters tend to be more like than others, but he was so no blame goes on him. And really, it's like after the 1 week was over, should have just, okay, 1 more week for, two daughters of yours to wife, right? Wisha, Jacob, Rugliu, Wiluk, Artza, Bani, Qadam, Wibra, Wahna, Bar, Bashda, Wahna, Shem, Shulsha, Adri, San, Rabtsim, Alia, Ki, Man, Habar, Hahwa, Ishku, Hadrim, Wahaban, Gudla, Al, P, Habar, Wan, Aspu, Shema, Kol, Hadrim, Wagalu, At, Haben, Mal, Ki, Habar, Wa, Shaku, At, Hatzan, Wa, Shibu, At, Haben, Al, P, Habar, Lamqma, We Amr, Lachem, Jacob, At Shi, Main, Atam, We Amru, Machran, Anchanu, We Amr, Lachem, Hid Atam, At Laban, Ban Natcher, We Amru, Yad Anu, We Amr, Lachem, Hashlum, Lu, We Amru, Shalom, Wahna, Rachel, Batu, Baham, Hatsan, we Amr Han Aud, Hiyum, Gadul La At, Hasaf, Hamqna, Hashku, Hatsan, Walku, Rao, we Amru La Nukal Ad Asher, Yaspu Kul Hadrim, Wagalu at Haben Malki, Habar Washakinu, Hatsan, Audnu, Madbur Amam, Wurchel, Baham, Hatsan, Asher, Labia, Ki, Raya, Rah, Wa, Wehe, Kasher, Rah, Jacob at Rachel, but Laban, Ahi Amu, Wat San, Laban, Achi Amu, Wigash, Jacob, Wiggle at Haben, Mal, P, Habar, Wishak at San, Laban, Ahi Lamu, Wishak, Jacob. Lurchel, Wisha at Klu, Wibak, Wigd, Jacob, Burchel, Ki, Achi, Abia, Hua, Waki, Ben, Rebka, Hua, Watruts, Watgud, Labia, Wihi, Kashma, Laban at Shema, Jacob, Ben Achtu, Weaverts, Lakratu, Wichbuk, Lu Winchuk, Lu Wib Yahu, Al Bitu, Wisper, Lelban, at Kul, Hedbrim, Hlah, we Amr, Lu Leban, Lek, Atzmi, Wabshri, Ata, Wishib, Amu, Hadish, Yim, Weamer, Leban, Liaqab, Haki, Achi, Ata, Wabadtani, Hanam, Hagida, Lima, Mash, Kurtuk, Walliban, Shati, Banut, Shem, Hagdla, La, Washam, Hekthana, Rachel, Wagini, La, Rakut, Wurchel, Hita, Yept, Tar, Weeput, Marah, Weahab, Yaqub at Rachel, Weamr, Abdak, Shab'a, Shanim, Burchel, Batak, Hakthana, Weamr, Leban, Thub, Tati, Ata, Luk, Mati, Ata, Leish, Atcher, Lebah, Amdi, We Abed, Yaqub, Burchel, Shabah, Shanim, Wehu, bayanu ki mim achdim bahbatu ata wi amr yaqub al liban haba at ashti ki malau yami wabua al yah wi asif liban at kul anchi hakum wi ash mashta wi hi barb wikach at la batu wiba ata alhu wiba aliyah witan laban la at zilpa shupchatu wal batu shupcha wihi babkur wahna hawa la wi amr al liban mahzat ashit li hala birchul abdati amk wal mah ramitani wi amr liban la yasha kan bum kumanu latat hats arira labni hab kira mala shib'a zat wantana lakam at zat babada asher tabad amdi aud shib'a shanim achrut wi ash yaqub kan wimla shib'a zat witan lu at rachel batu lu lash witan laban lurchol batu at bolha shupchatu la lashpacha wiba gam al rachel wi ahab gam at rachel mal'ah wi abd amu aud shib'a shanim achrut wi ra yahwa ki shinwa la wi patach at rachma burchul akra wat har la wat lad ban wat kra shami Rauben ki amra, not the same as the other, as the amra. That's a different place, right? Ki ra yahwa baniya ki ata yahbani ishi wat her aud wat lud ban wat amr ki shema yahweh ki shinwa anki witan li gum at za wat gra shemu shemaun wat her aud wat lud ban wat amr at hapam yilwa Aishi ali ki yilti lu shulsha bunyam alkan gra shamu lui wat her aud wat lud ban wat amr hapam auda at yahweh alkan qur'ah Shamu Yahwada Wat Amd Multat. Reuben is a patron, something you're satisfied to behold. Rachel is you or sheep, and that's the more commonly known meaning. It also means a journey. Shuk means leg, a bag to store something. The meal, sacking. Some sort of grabbing, so sapir is scratching or other surfaces, and it's, big surprise, the word for sapphire. But it also means celebrate, commune, count, declare, number, showing forth, telling, a book, a roll,